Do you sometimes feel like you're behind in life? You have so many different interests and so many things you're actually good at, but somehow you can't make any money with them and you're not able to actually build something great around your interests. And yet you see other people that take the same interests you have, but seemingly they make it work. They win, they make money with it, and they seem to build something successful around the same interests and the same skills you have. And even though you might be better at this thing, other people are actually getting ahead of you because you're not really able to put your horsepower onto the street and you're not really able to execute on these things and to actually work and build something long term. And I felt the exact same way. I was in the exact same shoes, but I figured out what was actually holding me back and what I need to do in order to overcome this. So I'm finally getting ahead of other people, and I'm the one person that is ahead of everybody else in my own interests and where I'm good at. The first thing you actually need to change is that you need to commit to something for a longer period of time. And I know exactly how that is. You have a lot of different interests, and I did as well. For example, this picture illustrates it just perfectly. That was me in the beginning. And for example, I was really interested in DJing. I was really interested in e-commerce and dropshipping. I was really interested in copywriting and Facebook ads for coaches and stuff like this. I was also interested really in meditation and maybe doing a meditation coaching. And I was really interested in also building a YouTube, like a vlog channel, which I did in the past. And the problem here is pretty obvious. Since I had all these different doors open and I couldn't decide on what to do at the moment or for a certain period of time, I didn't do anything. And because I didn't do anything, I didn't go through any of these doors. And what ended up happening is I kept looking at people that did go through these doors. And obviously just by going through these doors and sticking with it and building it, they were much further ahead of me. And even though that I might have been a naturally better writer, or I was better on camera, or I was, better at DJing, or one of these interests than the people that are actually succeeding at the thing, it didn't matter because I didn't go through any of these doors. So I could sit there and I could dwell in my shame and guilt and stuff like this. And I needed to change something. And in order to actually get ahead, I had to make a decision and a commitment. And I know it feels tough in the beginning because it feels like you're betraying all these other doors and you can't go through them right now. But what I needed to understand is I can go through all these different doors in life anyway. I can do it. Let's say your average life is around 80 years long. That's the average lifespan. So if you're somewhere in your 20s right now, between 20 and 30, it means you still have roughly 60 years until you will not be here anymore. Okay? So given that, it's actually enough time to do all these different interests. The main problem is that I can't do all these interests at the same time. And once you actually write down all the things you're actually interested in, you realize that most of these are actually not such strong interests that you would be willing to pursue them as a career and to actually build something around it. Sometimes they're better off just being hobbies and stuff like this, which you can do on the side. But the few interests that you have that you actually could see yourself making a career in, they will just be a few, and you can probably do all of them over the span of your life. You can just do them at the same time. Okay? And second of all, in order to make it easy for you to commit to something, because you have to commit to something and you have to focus on this in order to actually get ahead of people. It's pretty obvious and you probably know this already. But in order to make the commitment easy, you have to, and I did the same thing and I still do it, I have to give myself a time frame. So I'm just going to say for the next 12 months, I will just focus on this one thing. Afterwards, I can decide if I like it or if I don't like it, and I will do a certain volume. So for example, if I decide right now, I decided to do this YouTube thing on the side. Okay, so I'm just going to say for the next 12 months, I will just focus on this YouTube thing or on whatever time frame. I'm just giving an example. And as well, I will also focus on putting out a certain volume. So for example, if YouTube is your thing, then put out at least 30 videos over the next year. I did it in a month, but you can also do it in a year. And only after you put out a certain volume, you can actually decide if this thing is for you or not. And you can go back and you can maybe go in a different door. But don't quit too early. Don't do this. Because otherwise you're just going to be left thinking, oh, what if I should have done this? Would it feel better? You have all the self-doubt and these regrets. Okay? So you got to pick something and do it by setting a time frame and also then saying, hey, I will do this for 12 months for a certain period of time and I will do certain volume. Once this is done and you actually chose something you want to do, and let's just take the example that I say I want to be an Instagram influencer. Okay, this is my goal. This is what I'm doing right now. I have other interests too. I would maybe do coding. I would maybe do gardening, maybe do another study something, whatever it is. But right now I'm deciding for the next 12 months, I will just focus on Instagram because I want to be an influencer and make cool pictures and stuff like this. Okay. And I will make at least 2 or 3 posts every week in order to do this. That's my goal. What we then need to do is we need to actually reverse engineer your goal a little bit. If your goal is to be an Instagram influencer, then let's say maybe you want to make like 10K followers this year and have like a few brand deals or something. Okay, just as a basic goal. Then now this is not enough for you to actually get ahead because you don't know what to do. And this is actually kind of useless if you're not taking any action. So we need to break this down and we need to reverse engineer what you need to do every single day or every single week in order to achieve your goal with a high likelihood. Okay. And if this is the goal, you want to be an influencer with like 10, 20K followers or something, then first of all, I would probably find some people that actually achieved that goal and I would look what exactly are they doing and what kind of things are they posting and talking about. So you kind of already have a strategy and a roadmap. Okay, so look at people who achieved it before and figure out what they do. So for example, as a goal Instagram influencer, then I obviously would look at people that have this sort of account that I want to have. And I would first of all look at how many times they post in a week or in a day. Okay. So let's say they post every single day. They post 7 days a week. So 1 post a day. And maybe they also do like at least 3+ stories every single day. And they're probably doing some other stuff as well on the background. You will find this out if you actually buy some course from them, or not necessarily a course, but if you just maybe find some interviews where they share their stuff and what they do. And they probably do something along those lines, some growth methods, which I'm not aware of right now. But let's say they just do some growth methods. Maybe they, let's take it this. Maybe they comment on 20 posts per day on other people's things, and maybe they reach out to 3 businesses per day. Okay, so based on this, I would need to do this every single week and every single day in order to achieve my growth targets to build this following. Okay, now if you were to start doing this immediately, it will probably be too much, and this is the most important thing. And I got this from learning, or I want to do a mountain expedition, and in order to train for this, I read many books and I got a coaching for it, how to actually build this and how to train yourself. And the principles are pretty universal. So you can see here that you want to start increasing. So this is heart rate zone training, and you don't start, if you're at 0, you don't start in zone 5. Because it would just overload your heart and you're not able to build actually the foundation that you need in order to keep this up for a longer period of time. And it's not useful training. It will only get you to exhaustion very fast. And what happens then is that it goes down very fast and it takes you much, much longer to recover. What you need to do is to actually build this foundation very slow, very continuous, and over time you're able to ramp this up, okay? And the same thing applies here. So you want to make this as easy as possible and break this down into something you can do today, okay? If making one post today is too much, then you maybe want to break it down and maybe start with a story, something like this. And whatever feels doable for you right now, you want to start there and make this a consistent habit, and then slowly over time increase the amount that you actually take action. So let's say I feel comfortable doing a story. So then maybe I will do every other day, I will make one story, which is very simple. Maybe I just post my food, or I will just make a picture of me in front of a mirror and stuff like this. Very simple, okay? Then I will do this for the next 2 to 3 weeks until this feels easy for me. It became a habit. Once I have this, then I'm kind of here, okay? Then I do the next step. I make it one step more difficult. Maybe then I go up into a story every single day, and maybe I also switch around of like other things that I can take a picture of, okay? Then I will do for like 1 or 2 weeks. Afterwards, I will increase the difficulty one more, and I will maybe start doing 1 post per week. Then I keep doing it, increasing the difficulty to like 2-3 posts per week. And then I just keep increasing this until I'm like at 7 posts per week. And then once I'm at this volume, I will start increasing the quality of every single post. And then I can later on, I can start commenting on people's stuff and things like this. Okay, and slowly but surely you're going to increase the difficulty. And what will happen is that over time, you build a really strong habit around posting and creating content consistently every single day, which is necessary because you need to do it every single day in order to achieve your goals. It's the action we focus on, not the outcome. The outcome are the followers. The actions are the posts and the growth strategies you need to apply on a daily basis in order to achieve your outcome, okay? And second of all, you start building the identity around being an influencer or a content creator or stuff like this. And this will naturally allow you to keep up the behavior more effortlessly over time, because usually behavior follows identity, and whatever the identity is, you probably act in alliance and in accordance with the person you think you are. If for example, I believe that I'm a fit, healthy person, so I obviously naturally eat clean and eat healthy, and I don't go to McDonald's and stuff like this, just because I believe of myself to be a healthy person, and that's my identity. And I built this exactly the same way by eating healthy for a long period of time over years until this became a habit and my identity. And the same thing is exactly applying here. So you broke down your goal, and you know exactly what to do and how to increase the difficulty so it actually sticks. Now, the question is, what stops you from doing the work? And most of the time is that you get distracted, okay? Distraction. You start to sit down in order to create your video or your reel or your post or whatever, and you start to get distracted. Suddenly your partner comes in and wants something for you. You get a phone call, you get a notification on your phone. You start cleaning the house instead of doing the work. You start to go grocery shopping, cooking, all these different things and errands and chores and notifications. They actually stop you from doing the work. And those will stop you from actually getting your results and getting ahead. And second of all, they will distract you and give you new shiny objects to pursue. And in order to have focus and to be locked in on what is most important for you, you need to remove distraction. If you remove distraction, all there is left to be is focus, okay? So, and the fastest way to do it is to actually just sit down and to ask yourself, what is distracting me? So just imagine you sit down and you want to create your content. What is distracting you? What is it? And for most people, it's actually their phone. So maybe it's Instagram, you get some notifications, you get text, someone calls you, all these different things, you get a voice message. It's probably your phone, okay? Second of all, it's probably like YouTube and social media, maybe on your laptop. Maybe then the second thing is you want to clean your house, or you have this urge to like clean and do laundry and stuff like this. That's very distracting. Maybe your partner is constantly coming in and interrupting you and distracting you. Okay, maybe you have to cook a lot. You eat a lot and you cook every day for 2 hours and stuff like this. Okay. This is number one. And what you focus on here is to just focus on removing this. So when you sit down to do the work, maybe you can just put your phone in a different room. Maybe you can delete social media. Maybe you can do the laundry at one day every week. Maybe you can tell your partner like, hey, between 8 and 10 a.m. in the morning, I'm focusing on my thing here. Please don't come in. Please don't interrupt me. Or you go in a library or somewhere else where you can focus on without any interruptions. And maybe again, you can batch cook every single week, so you don't have to worry about cooking every single day then. Once you have this removed, then it's much, much easier for you to actually stay focused and stay concentrated on what is really important, and you can start doing this work every single day, okay? And the last thing is to actually, you have all the basics now, you know what to do, you remove the basic distractions and you focused on something that is important for you. The last thing is to actually just make time for it. Very simple. And the best way to do this is to actually just pull up your calendar and maybe map out what your days look like and what you spend your time in. You can also do it in a different way. Okay, what I did as well, multiple times, if you just do the 100 units of time exercise, and for a week, you just write down what you've been doing every single 30 minutes and 30-minute brackets. And you can see here mine. I did it as well. And I just wrote down what I did every single time, okay? So I woke up at 6, then I meditated, I did my mindset and my shower, breakfast, then I did my weekly reflection, I did some sheets, I did some time management, I did some training here, and then I did some meetup, and so on and so forth. And I do my analysis based on this. And then what you do is you can actually analyze what you did, and based on here I can see exactly what I've been doing and what I've been working on, and then based on this I can evaluate where am I wasting time and where am I using time productively. And based on this I'm actually able to then switch it around. So for example, I can see, okay, outreach is a good thing, but maybe Starbucks reading I can remove. And what you will see is, first of all, you make more time. And based on that time that you just freed up by removing all the junk that you saw there, you can actually put in the time for the thing you want to get ahead in, okay? So you schedule the time and then you have more time to actually do deep work.